Good evening, Atlanta News First Alert. Meteorologist Patrick Pete here with you. If you've been tracking the storms that we've been talking about all day, they're starting to move into parts of our area. If you have the First Alert weather app, you have received the notifications. We have a severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect for parts of our area through 11 o'clock. We are also tracking multiple severe thunderstorm warnings at this moment, actively moving through our area. So let's dive into it. There's also a lot of power outages to get into, lots of reports of trees down that we're going to talk about, areas that we all need to avoid. One of our primary focuses right now is going to be this line of storms that is approaching Fulton County. So there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for a large chunk of the metro. That's going to include folks that are in Paulding County as well as Cobb. This is also moving through Bartow and Cherokee counties, stretching towards Forsyth County. Now that if you're in North Fulton County, you're included in this warning, as well as DeKalb counties and Gwinnett County. But there is a separate line of storms that also has severe thunderstorm warnings, and that's stretching towards the north and towards the east. These storms have been producing radar estimates of 60, 65 miles per hour wind gusts, so something that we're going to continue to monitor. You can see not looking as aggressive as it looked about 20 minutes ago, but we are still getting very breezy conditions despite not having a whole lot of lightning. And this is stretching from folks that are in Uvalde into Emerson through Woodstock, folks that are in Milton as well as Alpharetta. This is knocking on your doorstep, and this is stretching towards the east for folks that are out in Cummings. This part of the line is moving roughly at about 30 miles per hour, and that northeasternmost extent that's moving through Gainesville into Cornelia is moving a little bit slower now at about 25 miles per hour. So I want to get folks some lead time on where this is going, that leading edge. If you're in Kennesaw, you're starting to get that heavy downpour, gusty wind impact right now. This is going to arrive in Sugar Hill in around 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, at 8:15. If you're in Johns Creek, around 8:17. Marietta, just before 8:20. And if you're in Duluth, Petrie Corners, this is roughly 8:25. So once again, some very strong winds embedded in this main line of storms. We'll get into some of the damage reports in just a few minutes. Just to the north and east, there's also a very aggressive line that's moving towards the east-southeast. So if you're in Flowery Branch, this is going to be arriving momentarily. Pendergrass at around 8:15. Houston, or Houston, folks have been picking on me about my southern draw. This is going to arrive at around 8:30, and if you're in Carl, 8:45. Both of these lines of storms are warned for 60 miles per hour wind gusts, and we've actually had some reports of some hail embedded in this. Up to quarter-size hail, but most of the hail's been a little bit smaller. It's been pretty much nickel to penny size. Nonetheless, hail is hail, and if it hits your windshield, you are concerned. If you're inside of the perimeter, you're probably wondering what's all of the commotion about, because things haven't really been that active since we had that cluster of storms roll through the area earlier today. But we are going to continue to monitor that line as it drifts further south and eastward. A new severe thunderstorm warning issued within the last 10 minutes for folks that are in Douglas County. This is going to encompass portion of Paulding County that's not impacted by the original severe thunderstorm warning, and this is stretching down towards Douglas County. 60 miles per hour wind gusts embedded in this, and this has been more of like a downburst setup here. Lots of lightning, heavy rain, and it has not been moving a lot. So we're going to be watching some of these totals. I know that we're mentioning the wind threat a lot this evening, but you got to remember, we're saturated. We've already had 13 inches of rain at the airport this month. The bulk of that coming within the last week. So these gusty winds doesn't take much to knock down trees. So that's why this is a part of our conversation this evening. I want to time this slow-moving storm out towards the south and east. If you're in White Oak Estates, White City, this is going to be arriving within the next 10 to 15 minutes. If you're in Gregory Heights, this is going to push into your neighborhood at 8:25, and it'll arrive in Seminole Valley just before 8:30. Once again, it's 60 miles per hour wind gusts, heavy downpours, and with this cell in particular, it is a bit of a slow mover. So something that we're going to continue to track over the course of the next few hours. You can see the wide view shows that there's still a lot of action to come. We're losing a lot of the electricity, but we're still tracking some of that wind. So that is why the severe thunderstorm watch is still in effect until the 11 o'clock hour. I also want to go over some of these power outages and then get to some of these reports. I have a power outage map here loaded for you, and this is the percentage of folks within the county that we're seeing reports of power outages. And by far, folks that are in Gilmer County are percentage-wise seeing the most amount of power outages. But now I'm looking at folks that are in Pickens County. You're getting in on some of that, as well as folks in Gordon County. I was tracking this line of storms as it was moving through the area earlier today, and it was very, very aggressive. I know the percentages doesn't really give an accurate representation, so I also wanted to plot like the actual physical number of households without power. In Gilmer, you're still up there with 10,000 people without power. We've been watching this line move through Cherokee County, and we actually have a reporter that's en route to Cherokee County because we have so many reports of trees down. 14,000 people without power right now. I can take RIM 1. Sweet. Okay, so I'm going to learn something new today. Actually, I'm going to get my producer to come and help me. My digital producer to help me show me how to get to RIM 1 because I don't do that much. But I will go through some of these reports. Trees down across many, many locations, but that's also causing power lines to be down. We're also seeing wires hanging off of different poles. If you live in the Revis Mountain Road area, Knox Bridge Highway, Mount Olive Church Lane area, trees down in that vicinity. If you're in the Neil Dinsmore Trace area, trees are on power lines, and that's the same for Ball Ground Road. Folks that are on East Main Street, there's trees on power lines. There's actually power lines down on Holly Springs Parkway, and this is going to be Tunai Road. And then we're seeing also trees across multiple roadways, including South McCullum Drive, Univita Road, Timberland Drive. Someone in the comments, Vanessa is joining us from Memphis, Tennessee, for the Money Cash, Atlanta, the New Seattle. I mean, listen, it has been raining nonstop, so you're not wrong for that. And then E23 Forceful Entry says Georgia is the Texas of the East. I'm not going to read the petty part, but yeah, whenever you have lots of rain opportunities. Oh, I'm sorry. Here we are. So this is our road tracker. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm not even going to try to read one of these signs. But I do believe that we are traveling northbound on I-75 is my guess. We're en route to Cherokee County. And as you can see, the action on I-75 right now is not that intense, which is great news. Looks like we may have just left from the station. Can you read that sign, Jordan? My glasses are not on. Y'all help me out in the comments if you can read this sign.
Greenville, Birmingham.
Cool.
285.
Okay, so we're on 285, so we have not quite left the city just yet. You can see those ominous clouds in the background, so we're going to continue to monitor the road tracker while we drive north, heading towards Cherokee County, where we have literally there is a list of outages. They're even working. 2 trees fell onto a vehicle, on 2 different vehicles, and people were trapped inside, and there were injuries. So the Emergency Management Office of Cherokee, they're actually responding to that. They're reporting that. So that's something that we're following right now, and any updates that we have on that, we will bring you either on this stream, which we probably won't get that information that soon, but we will also have that update for you tonight at 10 on Peachtree TV and 11 on Atlanta News First. Today is the first alert weather day. We knew we had this chance for these storms, and despite it being pretty pleasant for the bulk of the day, with the exception of that little cluster of storms that rolled through late afternoon, we knew that we were going to have the potential to see these strong thunderstorms this evening. The severe thunderstorm watch was issued a couple of hours ago, and we mentioned yesterday that we had the risk for severe storms, and that was elevated just a little bit today. So we're going to continue to monitor this on the back end while our team is en route to give us a look at what it looks like somebody said that now I got to give everyone respect. Come on, I'm with that screen name. That we're on I-85. So it appears that we are on I-85 and we are headed towards Cherokee County. So we're going for the action. We're going to find out what folks are experiencing there, and we will bring you those images live. And I am reading conversations with some of our other team members that are also working to get more on these reports. So let's take a look at these power outages, because that's something that is going to grow. Something that I have seen grow over the course of the last few minutes is that Hall County number. And I'm going to give you a couple of minutes with this screen because I recognize that it's kind of hard to see. But I wanted to query as many counties as possible. we're at about 7,000 people without power out in Hall County. Fannin and Gilmer County, we're talking about the combination of those two counties, roughly 15,000 people without county. We had an idea that radar was estimating these 60 miles per hour winds earlier today. As they were moving out of Tennessee into our area, we started to see reports to the north and west. And Fannin and Gilmer counties were our two counties where we started to see those reports manifest real time as those winds started to move through. So definitely concerned for those folks. There's a lot of trees on the grounds. If you've ever driven in that part of the state, you know that there's a lot of trees up there. And you're dealing with hills and rolling mountains and those of the things of that such. And so that is causing an issue. I want to get you through when this is all going to start to gradually clear up. And the severe thunderstorm watches through 11 o'clock. If there's any benefit to this line of storms is that it is going to be a fast-moving line of storms. We expect it to move through Atlanta around the 9 o'clock hour, start to push further south and east. And then I believe by midnight, we will see most of our areas drying out. These thunderstorms, I think, will also weaken. But you can see that there is a secondary burst of rain that starts to move in from the northwest at around 1 a.m. The guidance has been consistent, and honestly, the atmosphere should be pretty tapped at that point. So that secondary line of showers and storms should gradually weaken as it moves into our area. And we expect things to trend a little bit drier. Anders asked me how's Kamala doing, as if, you know, as if I know her. You tell me. And Jahir Conception, I mean, you know, people ask silly questions, you got to give them a silly energy. Jahir Conception asks, so what's happening? Jahir, we are tracking a line of thunderstorms that's moving our way. We actually are seeing 60 miles per hour wind gusts embedded in this. It's causing trees to come down. It's causing power outages. And we actually have a team that is on the road, which is what you're seeing right now, our first alert tracker, heading north because it's north of, Anders said she is in Atlanta right now, but I am weather. I am not news. I can tell you the weather. I'm trying to tell you the weather. If you want to know where Kamala is, our team will have that covered for you tonight at 10 on Peachtree TV and at 11 on Atlanta News First. I mean, she's here. We were covering her entrance here earlier today, and we'll have an update on what she's been doing since she's been here. Here is a look once again at First Alert Tracker. Scattered rain right now on the interstate. Definitely causing a little bit of a slowdown, but this is typical. We're going to be tracking this line as it moves through our area over the course of the next few hours, and I expect us to trend a little bit drier as we head into the start of the day tomorrow. So the rain chance for tomorrow is roughly 20-30%. There's going to be some spotty showers, but it's going to be much drier than what we're seeing this afternoon and this evening. So it'll be pretty much a win. I think we'll see a good amount of sunshine earlier in the day. The humidity will be something that's going to become part of that weather story as we head into the day tomorrow, and I think that that's going to really be the dominant thing because the showers and the storms will be so isolated. Getting you through the day tomorrow, hour by hour. We'll get into the low 90s, Jahir. I will get you back to the Sandy Springs area in just a couple of minutes. Temperatures will warm because we'll have a little bit more sunshine. We'll get into the low to mid 90s area wide, but because it is going to be so humid, those feel-like temperatures are going to continue to climb, and I think that we're going to flirt with triple digits across most of our area. And the humidity will only increase heading into Thursday, which is also mainly dry. And that means that the feels-like temperatures are going to get above 100 degrees for most areas. So we had heat advisories for some of our southeasternmost counties today, the same tomorrow, and I expect to see the same as we head into your Thursday. Dipping back into the weekend forecast, I'd say Sunday's the clear weekend winner because that is going to be the day that is going to be the driest. Scattered showers and thunderstorms look likely Saturday because we're going to be tracking a cold front that moves through. If you were looking for a big drop in temperatures, you're not going to get it. We're going to go from 92 to 91, so not a whole lot to say there. And then we will see those numbers gradually climb back early next week. So I want to take you back outside so that I can get our radar back on track so that we can give folks at least a little bit of heads up on where these storms are right now. And once again, it is a first alert weather day for scattered showers and storms, some of which you're actually seeing right now on our first alert tracker as we are headed northbound. We've been tracking this line of thunderstorms for the last couple of hours. The good news here, I'm communicating with our National Weather Service on trends that we're seeing with this line of storms, and there is at least a little bit of disorganization that's beginning to occur. So still producing some gusty winds. It's still a very strong cluster of thunderstorms. But right now, those winds, at least a large part of this, has dropped below 60. And it looks like we're going to go with 40 to 50 miles per hour winds. I know that may sound like that's some amazing news. And while it is good news that we are seeing those winds come down a little bit from the 60, 65 that we were tracking earlier today, once again, we are still dealing with saturated grounds, and a 40 to 50 miles per hour wind gust can cause for trees to come down. And we've actually seen that happen, and we're seeing that happen as we speak. So I want to get back to, and I am at the First Alert Breaking News Center here. So we are away from our radar system, but I can, if you guys will hold for about 20 seconds, I can get our radar loop restarted so that I can get you some updates on where this storm is, and we'll get you through where who's being impacted. I know folks were asking about Sandy Springs. Let's take a look at that in just about 20 seconds. Alrighty, thank you all for waiting patiently. We have that radar loop updated for you, and I'm communicating. Looks like we are losing. Yeah, so we're losing a little bit of the energy. You can see that this line not as organized as it was, as it is moving through Roswell, Chamblee, folks that are in Smyrna. It's not too bad in comparison to where it was earlier today, so that is a win. This is also stretching into the Roswell area. So if you're in Sandy Springs, not terrible compared to the original line that was moving through, so that's a win. We are still tracking active severe thunderstorm warnings until 8:30. I do believe that some of these will be allowed to expire because what I'm seeing, just looking at First Alert radar, we can kind of dive into the radar while I'm showing you this. I am seeing some of those winds come below that 60 miles per hour threshold, so that is some improvement. Nonetheless, you can still see scattered rain stretching all the way towards the north and east. A couple of thunderstorms still producing some lightning, but the lightning strikes have come down considerably from where we were earlier today, and this line is going to continue to move south and eastward. So lots of work to be done, guys. We're going to prepare for the 10 o'clock newscast. Going to work with our teams to try to get you some images of what has happened north of Atlanta. Some of the northern suburbs have been impacted by these storms, and we will bring that to you live at 10 tonight on Peachtree TV, and again at 11 on Atlanta News First. You guys have a fantastic evening. I am going to leave this traffic tracker up just for a little bit because while our team is moving northward, you can kind of get a bit of an idea of what they're going to come across as far as damage. It looks like they have already driven through the heaviest of the rain, the strongest of the storm for the route that they are taking. But there have been a lot of reports of trees down there, and our road tracker is en route to a couple of addresses where we have been communicated that there is damage. So you can follow this stream for a couple of minutes if you want, and the results you'll actually see when they pull up if you're still on. Otherwise, we will give you a recap tonight. Y'all have a fantastic evening. Stay safe, and if you don't have the First Alert Weather app downloaded, you probably got caught off guard. That's why you should have the app. Y'all have a good night.